Roberto Rossellini remains a renowned Italian director. His collaboration with Ingrid Bergman on films such as Viaggio in Italia and Europa 51 are successes all on their own. By analyzing the two films, it is evident to see what characteristics in terms of form, style, and theme are utilized in both films, and where these characteristics contrast and why. Beginning with Europa 51, the film follows main character Irene Gerard through her journey from a grieving mother due to the suicide of her son to a humanitarian with a greater outlook on life and her purpose in it. It is evident from the beginning of the film that Irene is more so invested in her own life and socializing versus the true, serious concerns expressed from her son. In the first scene in which they interact, Irene can be seen readying herself in front of a mirror while Michael paces in the background trying to get his mother's attention. The shot of Irene staring into the mirror is perhaps a stylistic movement made by Rossellini to express a certain level of vanity in Irene and her lifestyle. Later in the same scene, we see Michael tighten a necklace or rope around his neck in a gesture of suicidal tendencies. Later, we see conflict between the two that is also perhaps fueled, if not encouraged, by Irene's own friends, family, and husband, George. The score also acts as an indicator of impending doom and drama. Later, when Michael is hurt, there is a shot of all the guests peering down the rounded staircase. The shot is powerful as it expresses the scrutiny and judgment that one would experience in a lifestyle such as Irene's. Later on, after a moment of darkness and depression, she is inspired by many, including a single mother of 6, 3 of which are adopted. During this time period, Irene is seen much in shadow within the shots, expressing her own deep darkness she is struggling with. There is also emphasis on the contrast between highlights and shadows, as this is a transitional time period that inevitably will have many consequences on her life. In the end, though, it seems as though Irene has lost and suffered in life, as she is permanently placed in a mental hospital. However, she has actually gained great amour and respect for her deeds, as locals refer to her as a saint. Moving on to Viaggio in Italia, Rossellini this time presents an English couple, Catherine and Alexander, and their voyage to Italy. However, a change of scenery brings about unexpected obstacles for the pair, particularly surfacing issues concerning their marriage that they hadn't addressed or even had the chance to address. Their relationship status and tie to each other is notable through Rossellini's shots of them. In the beginning, they are seen frequently within the same shot. It is also worth noting that unlike Europa 51, the pace and length of the shots are slower and more dragged out, perhaps resembling Kat and Alex's marriage. Continuous spacing in shots, the distance between the couple increases up until they decide to spend their vacation separately and eventually agreeing to divorce. It is apparent that throughout the film, the two are trying to draw a reaction out of each other, whether it be through distance, jealousy, etc. In the end, Viaggio in Italia is a story of death and rebirth, much like Europa 51, about losing yourself and ordering to find yourself. While Europa 51 ends on a more bittersweet note, Catherine and Alex's marriage prevails the odds in the end, with the two having completed their character arcs separately and together, realizing and addressing the flaws in their relationship while still maintaining love for one another.